I'm Brad Chester. This is Lyle interrupting shit, goddamn Dixon. And
The
we're going to.
colon of death or
The
glory.
colon of death or glory.
I should mute YouTube.
We're going to talk about list stuff. I even named stuff. Look, I'm only late because I gave Lyle exactly 4 seconds to get on here with me. I was like, going to do this Han Solo. And then I was like, you know what? I will let Lyle give his 2 cents in every list. And then I will tell him no. And that'll make it more fun.
You should put the towel list up that we were talking about. We could fix that one live for everybody.
We're going to fix a tile list. We got dinosaur dwarves first up. So,
why are they dinosaurs? What makes them dinosaurs?
Because it's Rhinoceros Rex's list. That makes them dinosaur dwarves.
Oh, I was really hoping that like there was like a dinosaur conversion theme here, like that Eldar list you keep talking about.
I will steal that list. Like, I will walk away with that army in front of that person. They'll be like, are you stealing my stuff? Uh-oh. Probability coming out with a chance. Deal with this, Brad. Go blue. Now that I'm messing with you. I love that this is how... Oh, thanks, Johnny. Rocking and roll.
I like how people have paid you to say that enough times that at your funeral, we can just play a highlight reel of you just saying that over and
just
over.
Constantly. He was like, he was a huge Michigan fan.
Just love Michigan.
Like, as you can see by this. So let's talk about some dwarves. Damn dirty dwarves. My beard looks better on stream than it is right now.
So your beard right now on camera looks like, and I hope you appreciate this reference. You look like you got Big Papa Pump's beard from back into the WCW
I do actually
days.
know who that is.
Yeah,
and I'll accept
you got
that
like
guy.
the brown with a little bit of blonde in the middle, except in your case it's white. Yeah, I feel like you're now the Big Papa Pump of this stream.
I appreciate that. So, and he sent it to me on Racist Uncle. I'll pull it up and I'll slap it down here. If you're going to send me a list right now, don't give me all the shit because it takes me a while to delete all the stuff to make it fit because I'm literally using just a freaking text file. Let's talk about dinosaur dwarves. All right. So we've got Blade Wizard, the Grimnir, even though the dwarves should not have goddamn wizards. Makes me sad. Trip Warriors, 2 Sag, a 10-man Hearthguard units. Basically, they're always going to have liquid hot plasma now because of Grim Demeanor ignoring modifiers, so that 2 damage is sticking it. And yeah, you've ruined that forever for me, Andy. So did I just literally move everything around? Yep, I did.
You just scrolled, it looked like.
I clicked on something. Who cares?
Oh.
Double Pioneers, Trip Land Fortress. You know what? I'm gonna. Oh no, I can't move that up because it stops my title for the next one. The thing about this is I don't think I'm sold on Trip Land, Triple Chonk. I do agree. So here's my views on chonks, and I agreed. Anna brought this up, and I agreed with it when we were talking about it. I think if you're going to take chonks, it's either 0, 1, or 3. So if you're going to take the chonks, that's how I'm in. So
that's weird. There's been a lot of lists doing well with 2. I don't know why it matters.
It's a little bit of what you want with it, because I don't think I want to just put a toe in. I either want to go all in and say you can't kill this stuff, and I've got a decent amount of that. And the thing is if you want to be perfectly honest with you, I think the heavy bike lists are really where I want to go right now because of where the meta's at. So
my immediate thought looking at this is, why are we playing not the maximum number of bike units when we were playing more than the minimum number of Hearthguard Warriors? Like, that seems like a discrepancy.
Well, the Hearthguard Warriors, if you've got a bunch of Sages, are very nice for taking the border right. So I would go to...
But we only have 2.
I know. So it depends on whether we want to, because I never want to, when we're fixing the list, you don't want to take the entirety of the list and blow it up and make it something else. So if it's a chunk list, we're going to make it a chunk list. If we want to completely do it. So Todd, tell me about what you want to do with that. Because in my heart, what I really like as the best, for me, the best dwarves list right now is a piss ton of bikes. Because the ability to pop off and come back on is a huge deal, and you can threaten all over the place. Also, they're wildly the fastest thing in the army, and this is an army that has issues with getting places. So having a lot of bikes, also in a meta where I think we're just going to have more and more guys on the board, you know what I mean? And ignoring cover and taking a volume of shots is huge. I mean, the bikes actually do work into Custodes. You can argue with me on that, but like,
I was gonna say, I think the bikes continue to just be the best unit in the book. Like, it was true last edition. I think it's still true.
So like when I'm looking at something like this, I would like to have, I mean, we can get so many more bikes. I mean, if you can go to, I mean, if we do, even though I said 013, I would rather have 2 chunks and a shit ton of bikes, to be honest with you.
Okay, before we start fixing stuff, because I saw this in another list this weekend, can you explain to me why we're just running Grimnir's all of a sudden? Why are we here? Because I saw someone the other day running 3 and they won a GT.
That is true. Todd goes, I own everything. That is true. You do own everything. One of the funniest things is I'll get like a random message and it'll just show him with a box of random things that he just bought. He'll buy like a random army out of nowhere. I'm like, we were literally talking about this faction yesterday. He's like, yeah, but it was all sitting on the counter. So I just decided that it was mine now. Like, God damn it.
All right, so explain these Grimnirs to me, Brad. What are they doing here?
I'm not a huge fan of the Grimnirs, to be honest with you. I
don't know what they do.
I love the E-champs on it. I mean, they have a 4++. They come with bros, you know what I mean? And the failed battle shock thing really doesn't mean anything to me. I think the Grimnirs are fine, but they are. They're annoying. The wizards are there for the lore. They're there just to make me angry is what they are. But basically the warriors are going in the fortresses in this list. After you split, I would just like to see more bikes. I would like to see more bikes. And go ahead.
My immediate thought is, well, I don't want to remove the flavor of the list as it being like kind of a vehicle brush. I feel like if we only had 2 Hecaton land fortresses filled with warriors, we could get a lot more stuff in here.
Right.
Like,
I would like
just
to
stuff
have,
we want.
I would love to have some 6-man bike units, to be honest.
Yeah. I would like at least 1 6 and 2 3s. I think that's like your starting place.
It's just the fact that we're going to have, we've already seen it out there, a lot more armies with stuff. I mean, hell, sisters are doing super well. Bikes are amazing versus most of their shit, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Where we've been seeing, you know, unending swarm lists, vanguard lists for Tyranids. There's just more body lists, you know what I mean? And the fact that they ignore cover is a huge deal because you're still putting people on 3-up saves, 4-up saves, you know what I mean?
All right, Brad, here's your go button. Todd has said in chat, the only thing, his line in the sand is don't touch his Terminators. Well, otherwise, he doesn't care.
I think that you have to take the 10-man Hearthguard. 10-man Hearthguard with Grim Demeanor is what you start a Votann list with right now. I firmly believe that because of the fact that those guys can pick up anything. They're ignoring all your to hits, but more importantly, they're ignoring your damage modifiers. And that's a huge deal because they can just pick shit up. I mean, those dudes will dust out like most anything. I mean, with stat half, with Feel No Pain, they're coming real close to just picking up a Catan, to be honest with you. So that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Especially you got to figure that if you put some judgment tokens on there, whoo, that gets pretty spicy. So we won't lose the Termies for sure. But I do think that I want way more bikes. I mean, I was just making a list with Anna about this, and I really liked straight up just putting 18 bikes in here. I mean, that's where we went. You don't have to have that. Okay. It's still just super nasty, dude. You know what I mean? Now,
my concern with that would become footprint issue. Like, are you going to get shot?
But it's a footprint issue. But the thing is I'm taking one of the units almost always off board on turn 1, depending on how the game looks. So I can just park. Now, this is also thinking GWS terrain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what I'm going to do with those bikes is I'm going to take one and I'm going to literally go straight north and hide behind that piece with my scout move. You know what I mean? So it becomes, where am I putting the other two? You know what I mean? So I don't, and it's not a must have. It's just, it's one of those things where in this particular meta, I just think that the bikes have a great ability to play the game because they can bounce, they can go back. There's something that's really nasty. It's just, It's the same reason that, why Grey Knight mechanics are nasty, how Hypercrypt is doing amazingly well. Being able to put shit around the board the entire game is a big deal. Yeah, 100% this is for GW. Perfect.
All right, sorry, I gotta put this in Battle Scribe so we can make changes and I can follow what we're doing. So you keep talking. I'm getting this list so we can edit it.
Yeah, and Sagittars for 115 points are still like 100% legit. They also let you break these units up. You know what I mean? Which is a big deal because I don't want 10 mans. I actually want the 5-man Earthkin Warriors. So I'd like more bikes because their output is disgusting. The other thing about you have to remember when you're looking at your list, you have to get that. What kind of am I asking my opponent enough questions? And bikes make your opponent answer questions. They make them box out the backfield. People that are boxing out the backfield for your opponent aren't coming and shooting you. They aren't stealing that middle board objective. So I love when someone doesn't have any reserves or any way to move behind me because I can just literally abandon the back of my board. And that's a huge deal because it means that I can effectively make all of my models interact with you. I want you to all the time have to answer questions, push models back. Also, when a model's screening back, it means that you get better angles on them. You can't see shit when the dude's jammed up against a wall, but if you can make them push out in the backfield, all of a sudden you can get that angle on him because he's got to box out the 9. You know what I mean? So it's a big deal for them. So I would like more bikes. I'm not opposed to the chunks. The chunks have the chunks do work, you know what I mean? And they're annoying. So I'm still debating whether I want a Grim more than I want a Forge Monkey. But, because that guy can just fix stuff. And, the Hearthguard are in. Go ahead.
Here's my initial take, Brad. Because I'm looking at numbers here and I'm following what you're saying. It's like, let's start with, if we start with 18 bikes and work our way backwards, because that seems like that would make you happy, while keeping the list looking.
Hold on. Let's do. Yeah. But I'm saying let's as with every list, let's start with the must-haves. Must-haves start with E-Champ, 10 Hearthguard. Mm-hmm. Click it in.
Yep, those are here.
Perfect. We're going to. It's a fortress list. You don't.
Yeah, I'd say I started with this list and worked backwards to see what was the easiest way to get 18 bikes. So I was just going to tell you what that was.
No, go ahead. We already have that stuff. Got it.
To get 18 bikes in while keeping this list as close to what it was as possible, we cut 1 Hecaton, 1 unit of Warriors, and we take a long list off the Grimnir, and then that comes in at 1995.
I like that better than this, to be honest with you. It's got way more ability to move, way more volume of shots, and that is a huge deal. I never want to be in a tournament and lose a game because I don't have enough guns. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or scoring or whatever. So you just have the 2 Warriors at that point in time?
Yeah, so we got 2 Warriors. Both of them would be going inside a land fortress.
Well, somebody's got to go in the Sag.
The 2 Grimnirs are still going in the Sagittars by themselves to fill that up. It's just one doesn't have an upgrade anymore. One's just a stock Grimnir. And then we have 18 bikes. So that would be like our list will have 7 drops because the Terminators will be off the table. So it'll be 4 vehicles and 3 units of bikes, and that's the drops on deployment.
I don't hate that. It's you know where you're going anyways. Especially on GW terrain. It's not that big of a deal. I wish they had 4 deployers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But alas, it's that. But I do like that better. It's more stuff. It's more volume. It's more questions that your opponent has to answer. And it plays better late game. And I think that's one of the things that Votann has problems with sometimes. Excuse me.
Those bikes are so good late game.
100%.
You're just going to keep them around.
Yeah. And you want to play the bikes pretty passive. You're going to take your shots, like literally delete something on a flank, especially on GW terrain, because you can go top or bottom and barely get shot by anybody. And then you just pull them off, you know what I mean, and come back. Pull them off, come back.
I like this as like a nice starting place. I don't have enough reps with Votann, but I do like that this list kind of presents itself as like inherently a distraction Carnifex strategy, because like people are gonna, especially if your opponent doesn't really understand the Votann bikes, like exactly how great they are, they're gonna want to prioritize killing those Hecatons, right? Yeah. They're gonna be like, I need to get rid of these Hecatons at 10 stars, and then your bikes will be bullying
It's-
around turns 4 and 5.
It's the reason they got it's 2 Saggies and 2 Warriors. That's why you're coming up with it weird. But yeah, I like that better, to be honest with you. It just gives you way more play. Also, it gives you way more late game play, because the problem with this is if you play it just like this, what happens is if your opponent move blocks you later game, they can just kind of like keep you trapped, and they don't have to block off their backfield at all. Once the Hearthguard are down, then they just don't care. But the bigger units of bikes actually can pick up whatever's holding people's home field objectives, the neutral zone objective, you know what I mean? They will delete shit.
You then are also, it's like if your opponent goes first, or they understand what you're going to do, and you start popping you upsy downs and your bikes every turn, they're going to have to play back, so you can't get behind them and do exactly what Brad's saying. And it's very hard to both attack 2 land fortresses and play back at the same time.
Yeah, I like it. You just, one of the biggest things you got to look at your list is just, how is my game plan going to work? That's what I look. Again, you have to have the 3 things. One is, when you're making a list, you have to look at, do I have enough damage? Do I have enough scoring? Do I have enough move blocking? And then you get into the subsets of all those, which is, how do I play the game later? How am I basically making my opponent have to do something? Because you have to make your opponent be asked questions. If everybody's good, if nothing happens to them, if they don't have to get out of their comfort zone. Carl, I actually am debating on changing my Drakari army that I'm taking to Arkansas. I'm taking Drakari to Arkansas. And I was going to put a beast pack, or a beast pack in here. So let's go to take a chance on Tau. So we've got Farstride, Dark Strider, Commander and Cold Star, Cold Star, Cayenne on 2, Crisis Commander, Farstalker, Stealth, 2 Vespid, 2 3-man Crisis Suits, a Ghost Keel, double Piranha, triple Riptide, and double Tetra.
Sorry, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of noise coming from outside my house. I'm trying to figure out what's happening.
You are about to get jumped.
I might be. Luckily, I have the high ground. So my immediate question is this person intending? I don't know who made this list. Is this your list or Brandon's list? I have no idea.
This is Chance's list.
Okay. So the Crisis Commander. I love Crisis Commanders right now. I am curious why you're putting it on, because the way you have it kitted out makes it look like it goes on a 3-man unit of Crisis Suits.
And all those Crisis Suits are cyclics.
It can be whatever you want. It's fine.
No, I'm just saying, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like there's arguments to be made for multiple weapons now, which is nice that we're finally at that point. I do love Vespids at their point costs. The stealth battle suits are I guess so. My question is, what are you trying to do here? Like, what is your game plan? That's my problem. When I play Tau, I normally start with and Brad and I will disagree on this because Brad's allergic to anything over the number 100. But I like to start with my 6-man Crisis unit and like plan around how it's going to like dictate the game.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to see you. Oh.
The 3-man Crisis units are fine. But they're not like,
I don't like them actually.
Fire and fading.
My problem is
they're not doing a lot.
Here's my issue with the 3-mans, and I found this with playing and practicing and people that I coach playing it, is the Crisis Commander is solo.
Okay, and that I love, but then I don't understand why we have 2 3s. That's my next question.
Yeah, my thing with 3s is the problem is that 6 is too many, 3 is too little. So if you want to take care of something, you kind of have to run the 6, because 3 bounce too often, and that's a big deal. So I've found that I don't like the 3s as much. If I had a 6 and a 3, I'm kind of okay, because it fills a different role. But, and you know me, I'm still down with Skyrays. You guys are all fools for not loving the Skyray.
Some of us like to try new models, Brad.
Trying new models is dumb. Playing with awesome models is awesome.
You know what's awesome? Riptides. The Triptide is eternal. The Triptide is forever. Okay?
If it gave me Riptide Wing and I could fire it twice, yeah. I don't even know how many people were around for that one.
I mean, my introduction to Tau was when Eldar was playing 3 Riptides. So
you know what? I'm just gonna give unpopular opinion. I think the Ghost Keel is too expensive with the shit that's cheaper now, I agree. It
shoots worse than a Riptide, and it's not even as good of a lone op as Onva. So like I don't like in my mind it's worse at two things.
I mean, I could put, instead of this ghost kill, I could either have Onva, hell, I could have Onva and Pathfinders with Darkstrider. You know what I mean? For the same points. I get both. Actually, I have points left over.
You'd have, you'd have 5 points left over. You're right.
5 points left over. I'm saying we could have Onva and a unit of Pathfinders for this ghost kill, and then I have better people to take my back edge, you know what I mean, to back out and not be targeted by indirect and whatever else.
Onva is way better at forcing, like, so I like to use lone ops and Tau to try to like make the other person start having to do stuff, because like otherwise they might wait for me to have to do stuff, and then they get, you don't want to be the person that punches first most of the time.
100%. Well, the thing is that I don't want to have to extend.
Yeah.
Andy with the $1.98 super chat. List is in the racist alcohol. I will get it from there, my friend.
Yeah. So like if you're using your lone ops to like, take them or make action happen in the middle, you don't think about lone ops as holding your backfield and not having to worry about it. That's not what they're good for. They're best at like getting somewhere on a flank and then saying your opponent has to get closer to come deal with it. And the ultimate lone op in the entire fucking game is Onva, because even if you get close to him, you still might not get rid of him. For one turn, he's going to be annoying. I've seen him tank an entire turn of shooting from a knight before. Like he could just do it. And I don't want to use a 160-point ghost kill to push up and try to get my opponent to start doing stuff, because they're gonna kill a ghost kill. Like the fasting 2 failed saves is great, but they're still gonna kill a ghost kill. So I feel like that's too much of a point investment to try to put lone op out on a flank to try to make this happen.
And here's the thing: he goes, he's been running the 6-man, but recently had going down to 3s, with worried about 6 being overkill. Hadn't run into the 3-man, not doing enough of overlapping fire backup. Yes, but a lot of times what I want to do with the 6-man is I literally want to go out, I want to shoot something, and I want to fire and fade. I want to get the hell out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. I apologize. I'm so excited to talk about Tau, Brad.
Well, it's a big deal in this, because sometimes you don't want to, because I want them to have to expose themselves and then get blasted. So like I would probably kill the ghost kill, get the 2 things, you know what I mean? Get the Pathfinders, get the Onva.
Well, and let's talk about the crisis suit thing for a minute. What are 3 crisis suits doing in a meta that we're all pretty confident is about to have Custodes and Necrons at the top?
Yeah.
Like, what are 3 crisis suits killing?
Right. Well, the problem is that the real problem is that if you don't put down the Necrons, all of a sudden they just come back because of reanimation. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing suckier than almost killing Nightbringer or something like that. You're like, oh, cool. So he's going to be full pretty soon? Sweet. Same thing with Wraiths, whatnot. I need to put down all of the Wraiths. I need to pick up the entirety of that Catan. I need to pick up the unit of Alaris, Warden's Guard, whatever the hell, for Custodes.
Yeah. I do like the idea of, if we go, and Brad and I have argued about this a little bit, if we go Pathfinders and Onva instead of the Ghost Kill, I do like having a unit of Farstalkers and a unit of Pathfinders in a list. I've made arguments on why I think having like as a second screen is great. The thing that's notable, and I'm not going to add this to your list unless you want to add it to your list, the Breachers and Devilfish are really, really good. It's not something you have to do, but I do think it's hard to argue.
He has to rework the entirety of the list.
You got to rework the whole list. So we're not going to add that, but I would encourage you to maybe explore that if you're interested in playing Tau, because I think Breacher Fish are crazy.
I've been bringing 2. You know what I mean?
I've done 2 and 3 trying things out.
You've been a little bigger on it than I have as far as the 3, but either way, like we just took to North Carolina. We took 2 Breacher Fish and a billion others, you know what I mean? And the list was fine. It worked really well. The only other thing, if we're doing a 6-man, I would probably leave Farsight, to be honest with you. I would like to get a Skyray in here. It's just
you can't take Farsight if you only have a 6-man, because you need the ability to advance and shoot. So you just can't.
Correct.
There's
that's my point. We were losing Farsight anyways.
Yeah.
So
he had mentioned it in comments, and I was making sure we were clear.
Yeah. So, I mean, we effectively have 95 points right now, I think, because we gained 5 and we gained 90.
Whoa. Are you cutting the Crisis battle suit?
No. I'm killing Farsight.
The Farsight's not on the list unless it's above Darkstrider.
He is literally, there you go.
Okay. I can only see what's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, okay.
There you go.
We don't need Farsight. No.
So I'm saying we got 95 points.
Yeah.
I'm 35 points away from pew-pewing myself another a Sky Ray.
95 points is definitely enough for a third piranha, which I know will make you happy. Um,
Sorry, Zoom's just coming in with delightful chat. As always.
yeah. Yep.
Also, this is an ad that I actually like. I kind of want some of these metal posters, by the way.
To be fair, we should get to a
fair.
point. We should get to a point where Grimdeers are the spokesperson for like Irish Spring, soap. That should be like you should have a Dwarf Wizard advertising Irish Spring soap.
I want another pew pew in here.
What kind of pew pew are you thinking?
We're very close to a Sky Ray. I'm just trying to figure out. You know what? Screw this. I'm just going to dump one Riptide and grab 2 Sky Rays. That fits.
You do like taking 2 of everything.
I do. I love my Noah's Ark.
Yeah. A Warhammer player sponsored by soap. A tide that rises all boats.
Chase, we'll work. I'll send you a reworked version but it's like a wild rework though, because you have to like change so much because you're looking at double breacher fish at that point in time. It's a lot of points.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points on that.
I mean, I can just show you. You can show the list we've talked about. I can share my screen, however you want to do it, Brad. Like I've got that list saved.
Lyle is just doing OnlyFans now, Brandon, so he doesn't need to go into work anymore. OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I have this wonderful thing called Christmas, winter, and spring break, back to back to back. That's great. Yeah, I've played around. Like I saw someone playing Breacher Fish the other day that they had, although they were doing it weird. They had 5 units of breachers, but none of them were in fish because all the fish were carrying the Pathfinders. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there right now.
But let's look at this list right now. Let's fix just this.
I don't hate it. This list looks very similar to mine.
What we do is we kill Farsight. We make the Crisis a 6-man. We what else do we do? We took Ghost Keel out. We added Anva, Pathfinders. And we dropped 1 Riptide, and we added 2 Sky Rays, and now this list makes me have a half jump.
Yeah, I love the Vespids. The Vespids are great at playing the mission. You have enough. You have a relative amount of screening.
So this is what it ends up. So you end up with Rink.
Farsight is not amazing if you only have 1 unit of Crisis Suits. So that's just how it is.
It becomes that. Then we gain 10 Pathfinders and Anva, and we nuke one of these bros, and we get 2 Sky Rays. And now this list makes me excited. I like that kind of a lot, actually.
Yeah, as far as just focusing on the mechanized Tau, I guess it's pretty straightforward. I like it. The only thing I would be interested in if we wanted to be a little spicy, and this is a very big if, you could make an argument for trimming some amounts of your trash for a second Crisis Commander. We also don't have the one Crisis Commander. It doesn't look like we have Patient Hunter on it yet. I think you need Patient Hunter on the first one.
Possibly not the points now. We were literally at points.
We'd have to find it.
Are Pathfinders good for anything other than sushis? Pathfinders with Darkstrider block out 12 inches in the infiltrate, so you can literally have them hold an objective, especially in GW terrain, behind a wall. They hold your neutral zone objective really well, and they can double spot for guys, but to be honest, the ability to block out is the bigger deal, and just starting somewhere else.
So argument I could make here, Brad, and this is just for the sake of discussion. Darkstrider goes with Pathfinders.
Darkstrider goes with Pathfinders
with a recon drone.
Yep.
Yeah, you give them a recon drone and they get it.
And then he gets the 12-inch pushback.
Yeah. You could make an argument for if you cut both of the Vespid Stingwings, you could add a second Crisis Commander, give him Patient Hunter, and then you could have the last 30 points for a unit of Crute Hounds to outflank and be an objective or a mission playing thing.
I don't hate that, but like the Stingwings are a thing that he had
They're
double in
good.
here, so I don't.
I want to just promote that I have had success with double individual crisis commanders just to deep strike, blow something up, and then instead of like if you're playing cautiously, you're not fire and fading your big unit necessarily, but you can like if you draw capture enemy outposts and they have not realized you might do this, you throw a crisis commander back there, blow them up with patient hunter, fire and fade onto it, capture enemy outpost out of deep strike, really easy. So I've had fun with doing objective play and killing with the commanders. They are one and done throwaway units, which some people don't like at 80 or 100 points, but they still slap really hard. And I think that it's like at the very least, I want to find a point somewhere, and you'd have to figure out what you want to cut. But I want to find the points for Patient Hunter on that commander, even if we don't want a second one. I think if you're going to try to land, blow up an objective, and fire and fade onto it, you got to have Patient Hunter.
So I'm going to go to Meta Monday's question. Stat check numbers are out. Tau has a 48% win rate into Krons and a winning rate into Custodes, Nids, Eldari, and Space Marines, getting destroyed by Chaos and Imperial Knights. Why? A lot of the lists don't have enough trash, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I say most Tau players are probably trying to kill the Imperial Knights, which is not necessarily what you need to do quickly.
You just have to move block them, and you need the appropriate stuff, like things like piranhas, the stealth. So basically, just move blocking them is so much better. The same thing with Chaos is what people aren't doing is they're trying to get into a firefight with Chaos, and Chaos just is better at shooting you, especially from a distance, than Tau is, which seems bizarre, but they are. So you have to start focusing, and you have to have trash to be able to do that, to be honest with you. So this style list and the Breacher Fish style list will do better than that. You just need more stuff.
I feel like this is kind of always how I feel about Tau. I've been playing Tau a while at this point. I think Tau is famous for some certain play styles, and I think there are just some people who enjoy playing Tau and they always try to play at that play style. And I don't think that's what Tau's best at. I think Tau is an amazing like board control counterpunch army, but that's not necessarily what people want to do with their giant mechs. And so I think sometimes Tau matchups just kind of get skewed because people are just going out gun like, anyways, I started blasting, you know?
Yeah.
So
you got to pick your fights. Let's talk about some golden bananas.
Some Custodes.
Blade Wizard. I called the E-Champ for some reason a Blade Wizard earlier, but whatever. Blade Wizard.
Everybody's a Blade Wizard.
Yeah, that's true. Blade Wizard, Trajan, Valerian, Custodian Guard, and then we've got big unit of Alaris, 2 units of Wardens, 2 3-man Venatari, a Caladius, and an Eversor. And I always think that there's going to be more stuff, but then I realize it's Custodes. I don't know if I'm sold on the Venatari still. I want to be because I like them a lot. But I've been in testing, I've really liked just having more bros. The E-Champ is MC Hammer to me. Can't touch us. Or pleased hammer, don't hurt him. What are we going with this? No problem, brother. So
I don't know enough about Custodes to really be 100% sure here. But why do we need 2 assassins?
I would clip the Eversor for sure. Too legit to quit. So KR, you like the Venatari now? I don't hate them at all. I'm just back and forth on them. I have not played enough games with them on the board. The Custodes matches, the Custode games I've played have all been in my testing of my Adepticon teams list. Now, we were playing Custodes into Necrons. So no, you don't. That's what I thought. I actually would like to see these Venatari deuce out and just get us more boys on the board. Like 5 guard versus 3 Venatari is just wildly better, in my opinion. I don't know. I literally copied and pasted this list over after I was sent it. Yeah, exactly. For 3 Venatari, you can make 3 Alaris. There's 100% better. I mean, I would just take more of the bread and butter of this list is literally right here. You're looking at Guard, Alaris, and Wardens are all interchangeably amazing. You know what I mean? All of those units are just great at what they do. I would rather have just more of those. Yes, the Venatari give you a little bit of jump speed, but I would rather just push and get myself, especially, again, I'm very skewed into looking at GW terrain when I'm looking at these lists right now. And Custodes are just fantastic on that terrain because they can just stage up. You're looking at type 3, type 2, you know, they can just move into those, the Vs that are there. They just play really well with that. And I would rather just have, I mean, we can get 10 more guys if we drop the Avasar, you know what I mean? Because we got 475 points to work with. I'd rather just have 10 bros, you know what I mean? 100% of the time, because I can literally get a unit of Wardens and a unit of Guard for the 2 Venatari and the Avasar. GW3 is fantastic for this. And like I said, I don't hate the Venatari. It's just that the other units are so good that it's hard for me to want those guys because I can just push and plan just a little bit better. Also, if you're looking to push on GW, Rapid Ingress on 3, for instance, is bonkersville powerful because you just go into either your opponent or your side and just get right up on top of the, you know, if you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 as your quadrants, if you're looking at quadrant 3, you can just focus hard on that, and almost all the GW train has a good place for you to come in with one of those units. And the Venatari are they're just more killable than the other units are, and they don't put out the same amount of damage. So I don't hate them, but I just think that the other units are just so much more valuable. And when I'm looking at
the Venatari are there to do, like, you know, movement mission play, I'm assuming there's got to be cheaper things that we have access to, right?
Also, Kyle, you called dibs and you didn't answer your phone, so this is your fault. Long Isle. Deucing out is my favorite Brad catchphrase.
And there is a Blade Wizard. Brad's just really bad at formatting when Sean's not here. So.
Yep. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
But like, if are the Venatari, do we want them to kill stuff, or are they like supposed to play the mission, or are we trying to split the difference? Because like we've got to have cheaper units if we're trying to play the mission.
If we're trying to play the mission, I'd love to have some girls in here then. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'd rather have girls than Venatari. I can get
girls. I don't actually know. Are girls cheaper / better than Imperial Inquisitional acolytes, or?
No, I mean I can take either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Girls actually a little bit better because they can actually do something. Girls aren't bad. You know what I mean? And the thing is we can get a lot of girls for these Venatari, or we can just get more bros. I mean, hey, Brad, either
you know how we can get the most girls is if we cut all the Custodes and we go all girls.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up on you on that one. Unsubscribe.
Sisters of Silence is back, baby.
So I've tested Rhino with 1 Witch Sister and 1 Prosecutor in my life. Be if I can either leave the Rhino with the Sisters of Silence to hold the back objective for 150 points with a flame. I mean, I don't hate that. Yeah, Sisters are like 40. I would take the. I would literally. I don't really like these guys, to be honest with you. Like, because there's better options. These guys aren't bad, but there's just so many better options for what we're doing. And this. Oh no, I'm going into the other list. But we have this as our base, and then I would just want more, because I would much rather have more girls, more bros, or more both, to be honest with you. I would like to do either. So like I would rather have, because again, you can get a unit of Custodes and a unit of Wardens for what we just dropped, or we can get 1 more unit of Guard and then get multiple units of Sisters, which I think is probably better, to be honest with you, because you just have more shit to play the board, and you can also hold your backfield objective without feeling that you're leaving a lot of damage behind. So I would go with multiple girls. Do I want a Rhino for him? I don't know. I don't know if I do, but I can do 3 girl units and either a Warden or a Custodian Guard unit, and I think that's significantly better because you just get so much more shit. And there's more damage on the board.
All right, this is on me. I went to Manny's list to go look for some inspiration at what he's doing, and then I forgot he's just going to copy and paste the same name over and over.
I
So
don't. Why would you ever go to him?
he won an event this weekend. I was like, let's see what that list looked like.
Yeah, but the thing is you
It's
don't
3
need
units.
to abandon the home objective if we put some girls back here. The thing is that you just need some more stuff, because you can literally do. I would get another unit of guard. Put this in the app. Pull this up. You can stick the home objective. The problem is I'll just go back there and take it, because your better lists are gonna have things that can show up later in the game and then just come back in your backfield and steal it from you. I want to be able to block that out.
All right, 1 second. I'm getting you set up here. Custodes. All right, tell me what we're doing, Brad.
Well, put his list in here as is. Again, we're fixing lists. We're not making new lists.
Oh, I thought you were about to read something off to me, is what you said. I misunderstood.
Blade Champ, Trajan, Valerian.
Blade Champ has Ceaseless Hunter. Yeah. 5 guard. 5 guard. Alaris.
5 Alaris.
Wardens. Another Warden with 5 guys. And then Custodes, but we're not going the other one, right?
You can put it in for next week. I have to do 2 more, and I have 17 minutes left, so I will hit him up.
I'm missing something. Oh.
No, you're not, because we took some stuff out.
Oh, okay. Did we take the Eversword out already?
I don't know how I feel about Valerian, to be honest with you. Another Blade Champ, he's just being able to advance and charge is just a big deal.
So, Brad, just so you know, right now we're at 15-15.
There's so much that we could just put girls. I mean, I want 2 or 3 units of girls.
Which kind of girls?
I don't really care, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't know the difference. I don't know if one's better than the other.
There's flamers, there's hand-to-hand, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things.
I assume we want the cheapest one, the prosecutors.
Prosecutors are fine on that. It's just what you want to do with them. I want at least 2 to just put the. Witch Seekers do have Scout. I do want a unit of Witch Seekers for sure.
Okay, so 1 prosecutor, 1 witch seeker.
I want 2 prosecutors and 1 Witch Seeker.
Okay.
Because the Witch Seekers are going to try to score me early game, area denial, teleport homer, and things of that nature, because they can scout out behind. You know what I mean? Be right in the middle.
Okay, so we're at 1645.
I do want another unit of guard.
Same one?
Yeah, that's fine.
So now we're at 1870.
The question is, do I not take a unit of guard? I take a unit of Alaris. They do smash. 1870, I really do want to... I'd love to have another Blade Wizard.
What if you were talking about dropping Valerian potentially? What if you drop him for another Blade Wizard and then you have a little bit of points left over, right?
Because it's hard when you're doing Custodes, because a little points doesn't do me a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. Blade Champion. So if you keep the guard that you have, you do double guard, double prosecutor, Alaris, double warden, witch seeker, assassin, double champion.
Hayden's got it right. He goes 1 more warden, swap Valerian for Blade Wizard, boom. Yeah. Change the.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. Make both the warden units 250. And that's where I like it, to be honest with you.
And then wait, what is our? So wait, I cut something I wasn't supposed to cut. Did you still want 2 guards?
2 guard, 2 warden, 1 Alaris, 1 Custodes, Blade Champ, Trajan.
Yeah, we got 75 points left. Do you want a Rhino?
Oh, we shouldn't at that point in time.
I'm looking right now. Trajan, Blade Champ with Ceaseless Hunter, Blade Champ, 5 Guardians, Prosecutor, Alaris Custodian for 5 Wardens, Witch Seekers, Custodes is 1925.
What am I missing off that? I thought I had 2,000 right there.
I'm telling you what it said. A Rhino puts it at 2,000 for the girls. Or you could take the Eversword back for 2,000.
What I like on 6-man crisis tile. Cyclic until someone tells me different, to be honest with you. There's an argument we made for fusion,
There's
but
an argument for fusion and plasma.
it's hard to say that though. Against Necron, Cyclics is so much better. You just
from that, it's better.
It's better the Custodes
from the drain
and
of
the
it's better from just the weight of fire. The plasma is better into Custodes from a distance for sure.
Also, with this list, just put back the Eversor. It's 75 points, correct?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can do Eversor or a Rhino for 75 points.
I mean, 75, anybody that's got lone op is just legit still. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we just do the Eversor. So read the list off to everybody, then we're going to go to the Scott's Sisters list.
All right. Trajan, Blade Champion with Ceaseless Hunter, Blade Champion, 5 guard, another 5 guard, 3 prosecutors, 3 prosecutors, 5 Alaris Custodians, 5 Wardens, 3 Witch Seekers, Calidus, Eversor, 2,000 on the nose.
Boom. Let's go to Ketchum's, who named his list before I could name it, which made me sad. Missionary Saintly Example. So, Dialogus Palatine, with, of course, the Blade of St. Eleanor, Triumph. Morven Val, who goes with her 3 Nundums, 2 10-man Blade Battle Sister Squads, 2 Rhinos, Immolator, 2 10-man Arcos, 2 Cassies, Trip Crusaders because they're amazing, 10 Repentia, 5 Seraphim, 5 Zeph, 5 Zeph. He has the Dialogus and the Palatine go into the Battle Sister Squad. He can split the Battle Sister Squad with the Immolator. Basically, you put everybody with a special weapon inside the vehicle because the Immolator is giving him rerolls to wound when he comes out. And the 5 girls just stand somewhere and take an objective. I understand. I believe that. I love that list. I like that list a lot, actually, after we just got done with that. Whatever kills Custodes. Obviously, the Arcos can pop in and out of the Rhinos, get to where they have to go. So the questions are, not totally sold on Repentia, but changes to fight and death are good for them. I still think that they're trash, comparatively, in my not so humble opinion. 2 Rhinos is what I've been playing, but sometimes feels like a tax. Is there a world where I can get this list to 1 Rhino and experiment with one of the following? More Immolator splits, BSS or Novitiates, or a 3rd Castigator, or another squad of Nundums. I wouldn't go Nundums because that's a really big point investiture. To be honest with you, I'd like to see another unit of Seraphim. They're just amazing at stealing shit. I don't hate going down to 1 Rhino, to be perfectly honest with you, especially if we're talking GW terrain and not player place terrain, because I think you can bounce up in it. What do we got, Austin? 2 questions. Do you support? What do I support? Do I support 6 Nemesis Dread Knights? Why are you wrong? That list, that would make me have a heart attack because that is so expensive because 3 of them are Grandmasters. Oh God. Alex coming in with the fact that 1 Rhinos work for him. I do agree. I think we just kill one of these Rhinos and it gives us more options. And the thing is with Sisters, you're looking to have just more. I don't know. He's been on the Palatine for a while, though. I really don't care as long as somebody's carrying the Blade of St. Eleanor, because that thing is just bonkersville. It literally makes one of your characters just wildly OP for what their cost is. Because the added attacks, damage, and everything else, AP is just crazy. So, just adding a Canoness? I don't know if I feel about that. It does. I mean, I think you could bait somebody into assassinate at that point in time, and then you could just hide people. But I don't think people are going to take that bait very often. And I don't like it that much. I would rather just have more stuff, to be honest with you. If we kill a Rhino, we can take another unit of Seraphim. Immolators, while nice, are just expensive. What is $115? I mean, true story, the reroll wound is really big on that. So you'd be adding reroll to hits on that. I don't hate it, but I'd like to have just more, because what happens, what we're doing is we're taking out a unit that can do things and we're adding in someone that's just a buff character. And the problem with doing that is we lose a resource that can perform secondaries, take an objective, move block, everything, and you're making an existing unit better. Is that worth it? I don't know. I don't really think so, to be honest with you, though. I'd like to just have more things, because one of the biggest strengths of Sisters is just the ability to out-resource your opponent. You just have more shit everywhere. Like, there's a good chance that half the time you play with this list, 90% of your list gets thrown in a wood chipper and you still put up a hundo. They can make just better trades because they have more things on the board. I mean, just triple Crusaders. I'd like to have another unit. You just played against this, Lau. What is your thoughts?
My thought. I told Scott what I thought I was worried about based on some questions he was asking. I played against it with double Land Raider full of dudes. And we were looking at, he got me, I think, like by 13 points. But we were looking at it at the end of like, what could both of us have done differently that would have been more annoying for the other person. And we both agreed that, like, for me as the Land Raider player, because I got to go first, and if I just like put both my Land Raiders on the line in the middle of the table and go first and go straight forward with an advance and just say, can you kill 2 Land Raiders plus all their juicy insides on the first turn without overly dramatically overexposing your army? The answer is probably no. And so we agreed that, like, if played well, a serious armor stat check list would probably be problematic, especially if like that armor stat check has the volume and speed to, like, on turn 2 get to and murder a lot of different units at the same time. So like the Gladius Black Templars list probably can do that under certain circumstances. I worry also about like the more Monster Mash version of the Necron Hypercrypt list. If they get to go second and they just get to put all their monsters 9 inches away from you at the end of their first turn, I feel like the Sisters list is great, but like I don't know how many things they can kill in one turn if you get stat checked like that. I'm also worried about I don't think their guard matchup is great also for a lot of similar reasons, especially if the guard has like 4 pieces of indirect, and I think taking a Rhino out makes it worse, right? Like, guard has to be their worst matchup.
True, but I'm willing to take that small hit on that, because I think that they can push hard on guard and just basically accept the fact that you're going to be indirected and just jam them, put baby in the corner. Because I'd really like to lose this Rhino and the Repentia and just get more.
I don't think you're going to get to put baby in the corner if the guard player doesn't want you to, because they have enough infiltrate and scouts that you're just not going to get to do that. Like, they can box you out in deployment before you can pin them in.
I don't know. They're going to have a hard time because I can just jump up, especially if I take more Seraphim. These Zeph are just amazing for doing that too. You can just zoom up, and they have to start focusing on that then. You know what I mean? Or I'm just going to grab all their tanks.
Right, but most of the tanks that are in the front are going to be the ones that have like 4 flamers, right? So
that's why you got to double up on stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, I think the guard player is probably the most equipped to fight a Sisters list, right? So, like, do you accept the fact that that's just always going to be a hard matchup for you, and you don't try to make it better?
The problem is that what's going to happen is you're going to make your list 5% better against guard and 10 to 20% worse against everything else. And that just gives you way less of a net benefit. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't want to do that.
I do think, to summarize, and I think Scott and I agreed on it, if you can just like stat check them aggressively with multiple T12 or higher 2-up save things, like, I think the guard or the Sisters list does have a hard time answering it in a single turn. They will eventually kill all of it. But if you can make them have to kill it in one turn.
Move block, and I'd rather have things.
Right, but we're talking about in the world where they go first. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're still move blocking. You're still just like wrapping things and going where you can. But I think that the Rhino and the Repentia aren't helping. The Repentia especially aren't doing anything to help us here.
Yeah, I don't even remember if the Repentia did anything in our game. Like, I remember the Arcoflagellants. I don't remember the Repentia.
Alex, the Triumph, just got nerfed down to being able to do 2, not 1 million.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It just makes this. It just makes them take a single multi-melta and you just lethal both hits. That's
Yeah.
all.
So the Repentia for me are deuces. You know what I mean? I feel for sure that they're gone. I don't think it's a must have because rhinos are still just legit. You know what I mean, for the points. But if he wants to go down to one rhino, I could get behind this. And then I would take more stuff, to be honest with you, because we gain a shit ton of points there. Yeah, I mean, we can get 2 squads. We can do a Battle Sister squad and a Seraphim. We could do just one more Castigator, but then it becomes like kind of weird with our points because those almost are. We have an odd amount of points left. I'd rather just take 2 squads, to be honest with you, and that's what I would do. Let me.
2 squads of what?
You can do a BSS squad and a unit of Seraphim.
Okay.
For that, give me one moment because I have to find Endy's list, and that's where we're going to end up. Endymion. This is a Space Wolves Gladius Task Force list.
Better have a Land Raider.
Just period. Like you're just like
Specifically a Redeemer.
Won't even look at anything that's not a Land Raider.
You're not going to convince me that there's a Gladius Space Marine list that is good right now that doesn't have a Redeemer in it.
Hold on. It's a Space Wolves list.
Hey, Brad, look what's in the middle of the page.
Land Raider Redeemer. You have totally redeemed yourself. Boom. That shit's money. That's for you, Zoobs. We've got the Biologist with the Aggressor Squad. Boom. 2 5-man assault intercessors with jump packs. Cheap, but pointless. Fenrisian Wolves are amazing at 30 points. Inceptors at 260. Hurts my soul, but they are really good. Infiltrator Squad, the Redeemer. 5-man and 2 10-man Wolfen. A Scout Squad and 2 Warglaves with a Calidus. Dump these Warglaves.
Yeah, that's my immediate thought. I do not like them.
It's just
you know what I want to dump them for, Brad?
King.
You know what I want to dump them for?
Hit me.
Another Redeemer.
Doubling down on Redeemer action.
I'm looking up right now to see how many Wolfen can go inside a Redeemer.
What anti-tank? I would rather have Predators than those guys, to be honest with you. Because
your anti-tank is your aggressors.
Your anti-tank is your aggressors. You're just like, fuck it. Fire Discipline and Oath of Moment. That's all you need. Yep.
You only put 5 Wolfen in a Land Raider. Sad times.
I know. That makes no sense to me. They're totally the same.
So, I mean, I understand Wolfen are obnoxiously cheap for their points. I've played against them a few times. I'm fine with it. I don't know. Like Gladius still gives. Don't they always have advanced in charge? I don't remember.
No, I do like the Destructors, Austin. Austin is fucking loving those. He's crazy by. He literally built and painted them like immediately and just went, I'm all in. And he doesn't like the Predator test. They're still just, the thing is that your knights are getting no buffs on that too, but they're also operating in the same arena, the same range bracket. The thing is that you either are all up on top of somebody, that's fine, but like those guys aren't getting any value, any buffs, or any synergy that the rest of the list isn't getting. And you're operating in the exact same range, that 12 to 24 inch range. You know what I mean? I want something that can either shoot long distance or I'm going to double down on bringing more pain into my opponent's face. I would rather, as usual, have just more trash and 2, because you can get more trash and you can get 2 Predators in this list. Because the Predators are cheaper. So I could do 2 Predators and I could get another unit of trash. I could either get another unit of Scouts, I could get 2 units of Wolves, I can get more just junk. On GW, anything over 24 is just showing out. Kind of, but you can literally sit in your backfield and just pick at people, and they usually don't have anything to do about it. Because you can just set up lines, typically to the middle, to be honest with you. And then you just sit. but I don't hate that. It also makes people like not go and try to cherry pick in the bottoms, because you can go to the bottom corners and shoot over if the other person doesn't have long distance dedications. So I would double Predator it and more trash, to be honest with you. Put this in scribe for me.
I am, but yeah, I don't agree with your take on it.
What?
I don't want predators.
What do you want to put in there for that?
I want to play this. I feel like anything, if you're looking, in my opinion, if you're looking at Black Templars, Blood Angels, Space Wolves right now, I would much rather look at playing it as like a aggressive MSU like charging trading list, like melee list.
We already
I don't
do
need
that.
long range anti-tanking. I want more of it.
Well, he
I
asked
don't
what
want
he asked specifically for long range tank shooting. So if we ignore long range tank shooting, yes, we can just put in more stuff.
I don't think the long range tank shooting is going to help you, but if that's what he wants, then that's what we'll put in there. I think you're better off at being really good at one thing as opposed to with a list like Gladius. I think you're better off at being really, really abusing the turns that you're picking your various tactics or doctrines, as opposed to just trying to be able to nickel and dime every angle all the time.
You can ignore anti-tank.
You beat knights with an aggressor. You like that's the aggressors kill a knight in one turn.
It's not even the beat knights. You move block that. That's why I said I want more trash.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to do both. I mean, I don't think you need the predators, to be perfectly honest. We can just do more of this, but I want more shit then.
Yeah. So like, my thought is, I don't love it. If I could put Tin Wolf in a Land Raider, I'd be much happier.
You can't do the double with this list. You're not going to get away with.
You're not going to get stuff in it. Yeah.
You need more.
There's nothing to put inside of it.
Yeah, you can't. I was saying there's nothing to go that I care about going inside of it. So I want just more shit. I mean, I think that this needs another unit of infiltrators.
Why? Yeah, I agree with that. I was going to say that. Why are we not playing Thunderwolf Cavalry here at all?
What's
like,
that?
Is Thunderwolf Cavalry in Gladius with advance in charge on the turn we want it not useful?
Not really.
Is it not good enough?
It just doesn't get there around, and it's very good in Stormlands. It's not bad in it. I mean, take out the 2 little knights, give me another unit of infiltrators and another unit of Fenris and Wolves, and tell me what I got left.
You'll have 1980. Is there anything like, I don't know? The Wolves are they better than?
They're just cheap and they take up space. If you're talking about how you still win against knights with this, you just put Wolves in the way. You know what I mean? And you box out with infiltrators. It's going to help a lot because this is going to have a hard time against Hypercrypt if we don't box out. You know what I mean?
Hold on. My points are wrong. Hold on. Because I already had the second Land Raider in there. I have to remove it. So right now we have Apothecary Biologist, Aggressor, 2 Assault Interceptors with jump packs, 6 Inceptors, 10 Infiltrators, a Scout Squad unit, 25 Wolfen, 10 Fenrisian Wolves, a Redeemer, and a Custodes. That's 1,800.
So I got points for more shit.
Yeah.
I have points for more shit. Jesus Christ, time goes fast when you're fucking with lists.
Hey, Brad, you know what we could do? And like, maybe this is just wrong. It's fine. If we cut both of the Fenrisian Wolves, we could take 6 more Inceptors.
I don't hate that. I don't love it though. They're just
if Indy is worried about killing things, the Inceptors will help with that problem. But he also says we can drop 5 Wolfen. So if we drop 5 Wolfen,
do we have double infiltrator or single infiltrator right now?
We have double right now.
I want double.
Yeah. So listen, if we drop 5 Wolfen, we can add 6 Inceptors and still have 20 points left over to upgrade something.
I don't hate that. I'd like to get another unit of Wolves at 30 points though.
Yeah. So what can we?
The Inceptors just hurt my soul at 260. It's just
yeah.
Like that's just a lot.
But they're still it is a lot. But
they do work. I'm not gonna lie, they do work. But man, it's just 260 for a one and done unit. A lot of times, it's just a big deal.
I forgot to put Fire Discipline on our Biologists, so we're actually 10 points over.
Oh, cool. because that's the appropriate amount that I want to be over.
Yeah.
The kind
Well, I
that
mean, you could, let's see, we cut a wolf, and then we still had to cut 10 points either way to do what you wanted to do. So the thing I immediately look at is the assault intercessors with jump packs. Is there something else we would like there?
possibly on that. I want more trash. I want more damage at the exact same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Well,
assault
the intercessors
intercessors.
help with the damage part.
I'm not so, but added for Custodes. I mean, the thing is that you don't want to bounce off Custodes, to be honest with you. You don't want to bounce off Custodes. You don't want to bounce off Necrons. Those are just two real things.
All right. So wait, if we cut one Inceptor unit, we have 100, or not Inceptor unit. If we
Shazzy.
cut one of the assault intercessor units, we still have. I kind of like where this is going, actually. Let me add this. Hold on. To keep with the trash theme. So if we go fire discipline, biologist, aggressor squad, assault intercessor with jump packs, 2 units of inceptors, 2 units of infiltrators, 2 units of tin wolfen, a unit of scouts, 2 units of wolves, a redeemer,
Hold
and
on.
a Custodes.
Let me put this up here. Give me one moment. Paste. I killed one of the assault intercessors, correct?
Yeah, we're down to 1.
How many wolves do I have?
You have a total of 10 wolves.
I mean, a unit.
Two fives.
So 2 30-man unit, 30-point units. Got it.
Yes.
2 wolves, 2 inceptors, 2 infiltrators, correct?
Yes. Which I love. I really love those right now.
Agreed. And 5 10 10 or 5 5 10?
On Wolfen?
Yeah.
10 10.
5 10 10?
No 5. 10 10.
Just you killed.
We killed a 5-man because Indy said so in chat.
No, he said you can kill 5 of them. I would then go 5.
Oh, you want 5 5 10? We can
I
do
want
that.
5
yeah.
5 10 for sure.
Okay, that's fine.
If we're gonna, I'm saying
We have 20 guys. Yeah, however you
Yeah.
want to cut it.
exactly.
That's fine. I understand what you're going for there.
So
That's how I use my little 5-man death company. I get it.
yeah, as a
All
Marine player
so
hurts my
that-
soul building 100-point list of 100 list of Marines. Yeah. So we've got apothecary, aggressors, 1 unit of assault intercessors, 2 Fenrisian wolves, 2 6-man inceptors, 2 units of infiltrators, 1 land and redeemer, a scout squad, 2 5 5 10 wolfen, and a Custodes assassin, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And that comes in at 1925.
I just had another scout squad.
I say we do that, or an Eversor if you wanted another learn up. But I don't know if that's as important in this list as it was in Custodes.
It might be better though, because it does the same thing that the scouts do, but it actually can punch trash and pick them the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like if somebody puts rando
It
unit,
also meets your personal need to just get the list at 2,000 points.
also yes, it really bothers me when the list is not at 2,000 points. So I think this is significantly better than where we started.
Yeah. This is way better than splashing the 2 knights, I think.
100%. It gives us like way. Here's the thing: when you're looking at a list, you have to go damage, scoring, move blocking, and then you have to ask, how am I doing these things on the board? So you put your army on the board. You don't even need to figure out who's playing against you, and you look at where am I deploying so that I can then take the objectives so that I can score my secondaries. And this list has more damage and it has more ability to play the game. Don't worry as much about just straight up killing knights. Move block the knights, focus down a flank at a time.
Yeah, I think the problem people get into with knights is they assume they need to be able to kill a knight on demand, and that you don't have to do that most of the time.
Also, the double
And if you
infiltrators
do,
helps.
the aggressors will probably do it.
Double infiltrators helps a huge amount with hypercrypt, gray knights, any of that
For
shit.
sure.
You know what I mean? It's a big deal on that. I mean, it even helps like the list we just made with Todd's list with the dwarves. I mean, just boxing out freaking 6-man units of bikes is a big deal because they
Hey,
will
wait,
just
you know
pick
what?
you up.
You know what we could consider, Brad? Hold on. Let me go back. Let me double check. because I've gone back and forth on this. Let me see what the points are. So if we're willing to be at 1995, we could attach a Phobos librarian to one of those infiltrator units.
I'd rather just have one more unit, to be honest with you. That
Okay.
is because we're trying to effectively overwhelm. We're almost doing the sister style with Space Wolves here. We're trying to put so much stuff on the board that we can get favorable trades and just score points. I
Yeah.
just don't think that you like unless you're just going like Ultramarines Vanguard, you're not just OP out killing shit with a lot of these Marine lists. You know what I mean? So we need to basically figure out how we can make our trades the most favorable, and I think that's the way.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I agree with Austin on that. On GW, Phobos Libya is overkill. I do think you can box out the corners on the GW train. So I like this. I mean, you have 75 points for another scout squad. The Evisaur is probably actually better here, just because it picks up other people's trash, like really well, to be honest with you.
Rapid ingressing an Eversor is no joke for sure.
Well,
If they're playing a trash list and you just want to be like, yeah, I'm just going to keep them off. We're going to kill trash on the turn I need to. Like,
it's also a big
joke.
deal because it makes them come into you. Because of the fact that he's a lone op, it means that they want to kill him. They have to get within 12 of them. So then you can counter charge. You can counter drop on them. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal. I like it. You know what? You're welcome. This is the most happy I've been with changes we've made today. Actually, I was really happy with the Scott changes, but we barely changed that. We just dusted that. We put some extra seasoning on that.
Scott did all your work for you ahead of time.
Yeah, what we did is we put extra spices. Scott sent it in, and he made it all plain with no juice. We put some. Hold on, I'm still looking for my sponsorship. I put some Frank's Red Hot on that.
Hey, first of all, by the way, did you know, Brad? Because I went to Myers today and saw this. Did you know that you can now buy SpaghettiOs with Frank's Red Hot?
I mean, that makes me happy. I think that probably the person that cooked that was Baby Jesus. Yeah, because that sounds fantastic. Frank's Red Hot makes everything better.
I saw the SpaghettiOs with Frank's Red Hot on it, and I immediately sent Heidi a picture and said they really do put that shit on everything.
I told you. Hold on, I need to get a little bit of the fire before we go. Where do we want people to put these lists besides just sending them to me?
I mean, we could make a channel in our Discord that should be linked below if Brad did his job correctly. Is our Discord linked in the comments or the description, Brad? It's not. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. All you have to do is click, you just put a Discord and it shows up. Look it.
I'm going to test it right now, Brad. Let's see.
I'll do it right this second. Boom.
Nothing.
It'll come up.
Nothing.
Come on, Nightbot. Come on, Nightbot. He used to be linked. God damn it. Orc Codex prediction.
Waste.
It'll be more Orc Codex demands. What channel do we post in? Good question. Like and subscribe. I've been going for an hour and a quarter, and I still have not said like and subscribe. Brad, you're a fool for my loving.
There used to be a Fix My List channel, but I'm making one right now.
Why not? We've got 683 channels.
Brad's Fix My Fucking List. There we go. That's the new name of the show.
That's what I like. Fix My Fucking List.
Yeah, that's the name of the show now, Brad. Bank on it.
Can we get a break my list? Yes. Take lots of really expensive things that have the worst guns possible and low movement rates.
That's all right. If you join our Discord, the Fix My Fucking List channel is now available for you to submit your list to. Make sure you tag Brad every time. Make sure you go at Brad every time you do anything, because he'll definitely pay attention to it.
Boom! I got an explosion, and I'm gonna put the no on you because do not do that. Actually, the true story is if
it won't matter, you won't notice.
Well, if you have to tag me, I will actually look because I don't like the little red things showing up. It bothers me on the side. So that's the best way to get me to notice something.
Look, people are already tagging you, Brad. It's wonderful. The internet is a wonderful thing.
They're already tagging me?
Yep.
Oh, man. Panic. All right.
How do you have that one just ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready. I also blew it up.
I saw that. Yeah. You blew up a fire. That can't be safe.
So we're going to be doing this on Tuesdays. The occasional Sunday when I just decide to sit and chat. Basically, I'm going to be doing a Sunday chat probably once a month. Every Tuesday, I'll be doing stuff. It'll mostly be fix my lists. And then probably once/twice a month, we'll be doing deal with it stuff, depending on basically what comes out as far as data slates, codexes, and things of that nature, or if we're getting ready for a specific tournament. So I will be doing this next week on Tuesday. That's a huge lie. I will be doing this probably on Monday, because on Tuesday of next week, I will be spending a whole bunch of time up north with Mr. Ketchum. So I can't do that. So I do not know when I'll be done. I'm trying not to die. They'll be doing
Scott gonna do the scene from Indiana Jones where he pulls your heart out of your chest?
He's gonna Kali mommy? That seems awful.
I assume that's what heart doctors do. I don't know.
He just pulls my heart out and looks at it, just like,
pokes it, dusts it a little bit, puts it back in.
Put some duct tape on me. He's like, all right, you're good now.
How else would they get the medicine into the heart?
No, the Dice for Thrice hour is not over. We just want to do specifics. Sean was like, I work. I'm like, yeah. But we also didn't want to do them too often. We wanted to do them when things came out.
Yeah, Sean's busy catching serial killers, so he's got stuff to do.
Yeah, he's investigating. You know what I'm investigating? 40K. You know what he's investigating? Lame. Real life problems. All right, give us some Stay Milky and get us the hell out of here.
Stay milky, my friends.
Queens Wave.